The office is dead quiet, save for the occasional tap of keys and the soft hum of computers. But for me, the silence is deafening. I'm sitting at my desk in Caldwell Enterprises, the company my father built from the ground up, but somehow it never feels like my company, never feels like my place. I'm Lauren Caldwell, 32 years old, a senior systems engineer here. I've been here for 7 years, grinding away while the world turns. 7 years of endless late nights, missed holidays, and weekends sacrificed to the company. All of it for what? To be ignored? To be brushed aside while my sister gets handed everything she's ever wanted? Across the room, Chloe, my younger sister, is sitting at her desk. She's just starting out here, but already, her eyes shine with the thrill of her newest promotion. Promotion? Yes, that's what she gets. And why? Because she's got that perfect smile, that polished personality, and that perfect life everyone admires. She hasn't worked for it. She doesn't deserve it. But here she is, basking in the spotlight, while I get nothing. I watch her, simmering with frustration. She didn't build this company. She doesn't even know what this company stands for. And yet, there she is, being handed all the accolades, while I've been busting my ass for years, trying to keep this place running smoothly. Everything is handed to her on a silver platter. And me? I'm the one who's been here, quietly doing all the hard work, making things happen in the background. But in this family, the background is where I'm meant to stay. It's hard not to compare myself to Chloe. We grew up in the same house, under the same roof, had the same expectations placed on us. But somehow it always felt like she was going to get everything, the promotions, the recognition, the love. She always wins. I've tried so damn hard. I stayed late. I sacrificed my personal life. I put in the hours, the effort, the sweat. But it was never enough. I glance over at Chloe again. She's on her phone, probably checking her latest job offer. I can't help but feel that pang of jealousy. I know I should be happy for her, but all I feel is frustration. That numb feeling, the one that comes when you realize you've been trying so hard for so long, and it still isn't enough. Why am I not enough? I push the thought aside and focus on the work in front of me. Another system upgrade, another project, another task to mark off my never-ending to-do list. I dive into it, but every keystroke feels like I'm just marking time, stuck in a loop. They don't see me. They don't appreciate me. Chloe gets all the praise while I stay behind, working in the shadows. I take a deep breath and turn my attention back to the screen. But something feels different today. Something is shifting inside me. Maybe it's the way my father's been treating Chloe lately. Maybe it's the fact that she's getting another bonus, while I get another "keep it up, Lauren." Or maybe it's just everything. The door to the office opens, and in walks Richard, my father, the man who built this company with his bare hands. As always, he's dressed to perfection, his presence dominating the room. I try to ignore the growing bitterness inside me, but it's hard. So damn hard. "Lauren, sweetheart, can I talk to you for a minute?" His voice is calm, too calm. But today, it feels different. I stand up slowly, trying to mask the wave of frustration that's about to boil over. "Sure, Dad, what's up?" He looks at me for a moment, then glances at Chloe, who's now glued to her phone. A long pause hangs in the air, like he's choosing his words carefully. I don't wait for him to speak. I already know what he's going to say. "Chloe and I were talking about some changes for the company." He hesitates, like the words are heavy in his mouth, and we think it's time for her to take on more responsibility. I blink. I don't say anything. The air in the room feels thick with unspoken words. "She's getting another project," my father continues, his tone casual, as if this is just another run-of-the-mill conversation. "And we're giving her a 500 bonus to help her get started. We want to make sure she has everything she needs to succeed." My jaw tightens. Those words hit me like a slap across the face. 500, 0 for Chloe. And what do I get? Another late night, another weekend sacrificed, another round of thankless tasks that no one notices. I feel the anger start to bubble inside me. The resentment, the years of sacrifice, Of pouring everything into this company? And for what? But I don't speak. I can't. What would be the point? What good would it do to let this all spill out? Congratulations, Chloe, I say, my voice thick, forced. I flash her a smile, but it feels like a mask that doesn't belong on my face. You deserve it. She looks up, giving me that self-satisfied grin. The grin. The one she always gives when she knows she's won. She's soaking in the praise, while I feel like I'm being buried under the weight of all the things I'll never get. As Chloe and Richard leave the room, I sit back in my chair, staring blankly at my screen. The weight of everything I've been feeling presses down on me. The years of sacrifice, the constant effort, the feeling that I will always be second best, always living in the shadow of someone else. And then it hits me. I've had enough. I don't need their approval. I don't need their validation. I've worked for too long to just be a shadow. The decision is clear now. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to change everything. The next morning, I wake up with a sense of calm, but it's not the kind of calm that comes from peace. It's the kind of calm you feel when you know you've made a choice. A real choice. For the first time in years, the weight of the world doesn't feel like it's crushing me. I glance at the clock. It's barely 7:30 a.m., and I feel like the world is already in motion. But I'm not. I'm awake. But today, I'm awake to something bigger than just another day at the office. It's hard to describe, but I feel it deep in my chest. Today will be different. I head to the office, the sun barely rising, and the city is still stretching its arms awake. I step through the door of Caldwell Enterprises, but today, the air feels heavier. I don't know if it's the anticipation of everything that's going to unfold, or if it's just the realization that this time, I won't just walk past everything. I feel it in every fiber of my being. This is the day I start taking control. I make my way down the familiar hall, passing by the same old desks, the same old faces. But today, I see them differently. Each one of them represents a part of my past, a part of the life I thought I had to live, the life where I sacrificed for Chloe, for my father, for the company. But not anymore. I don't live for them anymore. I walk past Chloe's desk. She doesn't even look up, already lost in her world, her perfect world. For a second, I feel the old bitterness creeping in. The old feeling that she's always been given everything, and I've been fighting for scraps. She gets another bonus, another promotion. I get nothing. But as I stand there, staring at her, something inside me shifts. I'm done. I don't need her approval. I don't need anyone's approval. This time, it's my turn. I take a deep breath and head to the break room, needing a moment alone before facing the day. The coffee machine hums in the background, but it's almost too quiet. As I pour myself a cup, I glance out the window, watching the city wake up. It's my city now. It feels like I've been working for this city my whole life, but it's never given me anything. No more, I whisper to myself. Today is the day everything changes. I pull out my phone and tap into the email. The lottery. A chance to take back what's mine. It's absurd, but right now it feels like the only thing I can do for me. I take a deep breath and buy the lottery ticket. The cashier barely notices me as I hand over the cash. But for me, this ticket represents something more than just a potential win. It represents a choice. A chance to finally take control. I don't even look at the ticket as I pocket it. It's not the numbers I'm after. It's the idea of it. The fact that I'm doing something for myself. Finally, for once, this isn't about anyone else. It's about me. Later that night, I sit in my room, the tension thick in the air. I've never felt so restless in my life. I'm trying to sleep, but all I can think about is that ticket in my pocket. What if I win? What if this changes everything? No, don't get your hopes up, I think to myself. But the thought doesn't leave. It grows louder. I pull the ticket from my jacket pocket, my fingers slightly trembling. My heart is pounding in my chest. I type the numbers into the app, my hands shaking just a little. I can feel the weight of this moment, like everything I've done up until now has been leading to this. It's now or never. The numbers scroll across my screen. I hold my breath as I scan them one by one. My heart is racing. I can feel the sweat on the back of my neck. Please, please. Then, my breath catches. The numbers map. I sit there for a second, in stunned silence. $50 million. 50 million. The room spins, but it's not out of fear. It's like the world suddenly opened up in front of me. Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed. This is it. This is the chance to take control. To stop being the worker in the background. To stop being the one who isn't enough. I don't scream, I don't jump up. I sit there in the stillness of the room, just feeling the weight of the moment settle on me. This isn't about the money. This is about the freedom I've wanted my whole life. The freedom to finally live for myself. I think about my father, about Chloe, the years of feeling like a shadow, the feeling that I would never be enough. And now, I'm looking at something that says, "You are enough." I don't tell anyone. Not yet. I don't need to. I've made my decision. I'm not going to wait for anyone's approval anymore. I'm taking control. This is my moment, my future. The next morning, the sun feels different. The light streams in through my window, casting long shadows across the room. And for the first time, I don't feel that nagging sense of dread hanging over me. Instead, there's an unexpected calm, the calm of knowing that today is the day I take control. The day I make a choice that's mine. No more second guessing. No more letting my past decisions be influenced by anyone else's approval. I get up, stand in front of the mirror, and take a long look at myself. The woman I see isn't the same woman who walked into this company 7 years ago, hungry for validation. I'm different now. Stronger, more certain. I've worked hard enough to get to this moment. The reflection staring back at me is calm, confident, determined, the woman I was always meant to be. But it's more than just a look. It's a realization. For the first time in my life, I'm no longer waiting for permission. I'm no longer hoping that someone else will notice me. Today, I make myself seen. I arrive at the office early. There's a slight chill in the air, but I don't feel it. I'm too focused. I pass by the usual faces in the hallway, but today it feels like I'm walking in my own space. It's as if the office no longer belongs to my father, to Chloe, or to anyone else. It's mine now. I catch a glimpse of Chloe at her desk. The same polished smile is there as she answers emails, confident in her little world. I almost want to stop, to make her see me, but I don't. I keep walking. For the first time, I don't need her to see me. I don't need her to know I'm here. I walk straight into my office. It's the same room I've worked in for the last 7 years. But today, it feels different. I've taken ownership of it, of everything around me. I sit at my desk, open my laptop, and begin reviewing the projects ahead of me. But today, I don't just look at the tasks. I see opportunities. Opportunities to lead. The phone rings. It's my lawyer, the one I called last night after my win. I have everything in place now. The paperwork is ready, and the next step is clear. I no longer feel the need to hide or wait for approval. This company, this future, is now mine to shape. A few hours later, I walk into the break room to get some coffee. But this time, I notice the people around me. They're all busy, focused, unaware of the shift that's happening today. They don't know what's coming, but I do. The sound of the coffee machine fades into the background as I take my first sip. I don't feel the usual restlessness or frustration that used to eat at me every morning. Instead, I feel peace. Clarity. I head straight to Richard's office. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. I can feel my heart pounding, but it's not out of nervousness. It's because I know, with every cell in my body, that this is my time. I knock on his door. He looks up, his usual calm demeanor in place, but I see the flicker of concern in his eyes. He knows. He's always known that this day would come. I walk in and sit down without hesitation. "Lauren, what's going on?" His voice is steady, but I can hear the undertone of something more. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's resignation. But it's there. I look him in the eye. "It's time for a change, Dad," I say, my voice firm. "You've run this company for years, but now I'm taking control. I'm the one in charge now." There's a long silence. He stares at me, his lips pressed together, trying to mask his surprise. "You're taking over?" Richard asks, his voice barely above a whisper. I nod, not breaking eye contact. "Yes, I am. I've worked here for 7 years, and I've earned it. I'm making the decisions from here on out." He doesn't respond at first. I can see the internal battle in his eyes. He's been the one in charge, always. Now, he has to face the reality that I'm taking over. "But Lauren, you're still so young. This is sudden," Richard says, his voice laced with concern. I lean forward slightly. "You've had your time, Richard. Now it's mine." For a moment, there's no sound. Then, I pull out the lottery ticket from my bag and slide it across the desk. The piece of paper feels like it carries the weight of everything I've worked for, the 50 million that changes everything. It's not just about the money, it's about the freedom to finally be my own boss. Richard picks it up, staring at it in disbelief. "You won?" he asks, his voice cracking. "Yes," I reply, smiling for the first time in years. "I won. And now I'm taking what's mine." He opens his mouth to speak, but I cut him off. There's no more waiting, no more playing by anyone else's rules. From now on, I make the decisions. I stand up, feeling the weight of this moment. This is no longer just about work. This is about me. This is my time. I walk out of his office, my footsteps echoing down the hallway. The place that once felt like a prison now feels like freedom. I pass by the employees. Some of them glance at me, some don't. They don't know what I've just done, but I do. I'm in control now. It's a week after I made my decision. Everything is falling into place, and yet I can feel the weight of what I'm about to do. This is the moment when everything changes. I walk into the boardroom with a newfound sense of confidence. I'm not the quiet employee anymore, hidden in the background, waiting for someone to acknowledge my work. Today, I am the one in charge. As I enter, the room is already filled with board members. There's a noticeable shift in the air. Some look surprised to see me walking in with such purpose, while others glance at each other, clearly sensing that something is different. I sit down at the head of the table, not as a visitor, not as someone waiting for permission. This is my seat now. I glance over at Chloe, who's sitting at the far end of the table. Her usual confidence seems to waver today. She glances up at me, and I can see the unease in her eyes. She knows that today is different. I'm not the little sister who's been left in the background anymore. I'm not the one who has to prove anything to her or anyone else. I smile, but it's not a smile of victory. It's the kind of smile that says, "I've won, and you know it." She doesn't smile back. Her hands are clenched on the table, but she stays quiet. My father, Richard, walks in a few moments later. As always, he's the embodiment of authority. But today, there's something in his eyes that wasn't there before. Doubt, hesitation. "Lauren," he says, his voice carefully controlled, but I can sense the change. The way he looks at me is different. He's not looking at his daughter anymore. He's looking at someone he can't control. I take a deep breath, steadying myself. This is the moment where I take control. There's no turning back. I've earned it. "We need to talk about the direction of this company," I say, my voice cutting through the silence. "Things have been running the way you've wanted them for years, but now it's time for a change, a real change." The board members shift uneasily in their seats, sensing the shift in power. They know it's coming, but I can see some of them still cling to the old ways, the way things used to be when Richard was the one pulling all the strings. "What do you mean, Lauren?" Richard's voice is quieter than usual. He's trying to hold on, but he knows. Deep down, he knows it's slipping away from him. I stand up, not to intimidate, but to command. "This room is mine now. I'm taking over," I say, my voice unwavering. "This company isn't yours anymore. It's mine. I've worked for it. I've earned it. I'm the one making the decisions from now on." For a moment, there's silence. Stunned silence. The board members exchange glances, but no one dares speak. Richard opens his mouth, but the words get caught in his throat. He never expected this. Chloe stands up, her chair scraping across the floor as she does. "You can't just take over like this, Lauren," she says, her voice shaking, a mix of shock and frustration. "This is our family's company. Dad built this." I don't flinch. This is my moment. and I'm not backing down. No, Chloe, this is my company now. It was always meant to be mine, I say, looking her dead in the eye. I'm not asking for your permission. I'm taking it. I've earned it, and you can't take that away from me anymore. The board members shift in their seats again, looking at each other, unsure of how to respond. Some look uncomfortable, but others seem to be waiting for me to lead. They've seen me work. They know I can do this, and deep down, they know I'm right. This company should be mine. What about me? Chloe asks, her voice small but laced with anger. I've worked hard too. I've earned my place here. No, Chloe, I say firmly, my voice cold. You've been handed everything. You've never had to work for anything. This isn't about you anymore. It's my time. Richard speaks up, his voice strained but trying to maintain authority. Lauren, this is too sudden. We can't just change everything overnight. I walk around the table slowly, letting the tension build. They are looking at me now. Richard can't hide his hesitation, and Chloe is barely holding back her anger. I've been in the background for too long. And you know what? I'm done, I say, my voice strong, firm. I'm running this company now. If anyone here disagrees, you can leave. This is my time, and I'm not waiting anymore. I see the board members nodding, some hesitantly, others with genuine respect. They've seen me work, they know my capabilities, and they know that this company needs a leader, a real leader. Chloe's face turns red with anger, her hands clenched in fists on the table. I can see it in her eyes, she's furious. But I don't care anymore. I'm in charge now, and I'm not looking back. Later that day, I sit in my new office. The same office that used to belong to my father. It feels different now. The view out the window hasn't changed, but somehow, it feels like the whole city is mine to command. For the first time in my life, I'm not waiting for permission. I've claimed it. This is my moment. And it's only the beginning. It's been 3 months since I took control of Caldwell Enterprises. And everything feels different now. The company is running more smoothly. People are more focused. There's a sense of purpose in the air that hasn't been there before. The employees are no longer just waiting for orders from above. They're contributing. They're invested. I see them working together, not because they have to, but because they believe in what we're building. I stand in my office, looking out over the city, the same view I've had for years. The same skyline I've always admired from a distance. But today, it feels different. Today, I see more than just a view. I see possibility. This city, the place I've worked for so long, is no longer a place where I feel like an outsider. It's mine. And I'm the one who gets to decide where it goes. The sound of my phone ringing pulls me out of my thoughts. It's my lawyer. I've been avoiding this call, but now I know it's time. Time to make the big decisions. The real decisions. Lauren, the paperwork is ready, my lawyer says when I pick up the phone. The assets are secure. Everything is in place for you to take full control. We just need your final approval and we're set. I take a deep breath. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. The moment when I no longer have to ask for permission. I've worked for this. I've sacrificed for this. Do it, I say, my voice firm. Make it official. The line is silent for a moment, but I can hear the recognition in my lawyer's voice. Understood. Congratulations, Lauren. You're now fully in control. The weight of those words hits me. I'm in control. It's hard to believe, but it's real. I think back to all the years I spent feeling invisible, always in the background, never enough. But now, I'm here, and I earned this. As the day goes on, I head to the boardroom for our regular meeting. There's a new energy in the room today. The board members, who used to look at me with doubt, now look at me with a different expression: respect. They know what I've done. They know I've earned my place. I walk into the room, and the moment I step through the door, the room falls silent. The usual chatter stops. They all look at me, some with admiration, others with a sense of unease. But no one doubts me now. Not anymore. I sit at the head of the table. I don't need to announce my presence. I don't need to demand attention. They're already looking at me. I'm in charge. The room feels like mine. Chloe is sitting across from me, and for the first time, I see her eyes filled with something new: uncertainty. She looks nervous. It's not just the unease of someone who knows they're not in control. It's the unease of someone who realizes they've lost everything. I look around the room, and I can see the change in the air. People are no longer afraid to speak up. They're more confident, more engaged. They're not just sitting there, waiting for orders. They're part of this now, and I can see it in their faces. They're not following me because I'm the boss. They're following me because they believe in what we're doing. We're going to change things here, I say, my voice calm but commanding. We're going to make Caldwell Enterprises the best it can be, starting with our leadership team. I'm making decisions now, real decisions. And we're going to run this company with merit at the core. The board members nod, some more reluctant than others, but no one speaks up. They know what's coming. We're going to start promoting from within, I continue, locking eyes with each person in the room. We'll no longer be making decisions based on who's the favorite. This company will be run by those who earn their place here, not by who can smile the brightest. I see Richard sitting at the end of the table, his jaw clenched. He's still trying to maintain the air of authority, but I can tell he knows he's lost. There's no more room for him to make the decisions for me. No more room for him to stand in the way of my vision. And Chloe, sitting across from me, her face flushed with anger and confusion, finally speaks up. "You can't do this, Lauren," she says, her voice cracking slightly. "This is our family's legacy. This is Dad's company. You're just taking everything away from us." I lean forward, unwavering. "No, Chloe. I'm not taking anything from you. You never had to work for it. You were always handed everything. You've never had to fight for anything in this company. I earned it, and now it's mine." Chloe's face turns red with rage, but I don't flinch. I don't need to prove myself to her anymore. I don't need anyone's approval. Not hers, not Richard's, not anyone's. Richard opens his mouth to speak, but I raise my hand, cutting him off. "I've been fighting for approval my whole life. Not anymore. This is my company. If anyone here doesn't like that, you can leave." There's a moment of silence. The board members exchange uncertain glances, but eventually, one by one, they begin nodding in agreement. Some reluctantly, others with respect. They've seen my work. They know what I'm capable of. And now, they know I'm not backing down. Chloe stands up, her chair scraping loudly against the floor, but instead of storming out, she just stands there for a moment, trembling with rage. Her lips curl into a tight smile, but I can see it. She knows she's lost. This is my moment. I stand up too, signaling the end of the meeting. It's over. The game has changed. This is no longer a company where Chloe and Richard call the shots. It's mine now. And from now on, everything is going to be different. As I leave the boardroom, I feel the weight of what I've just done settle on my shoulders, but it doesn't feel heavy anymore. It feels like freedom, the weight of a future I can finally control. Later that night, I sit in my office, the city lights below casting a soft glow through the windows. This is mine. This is my empire. The world is now at my fingertips, and for the first time in my life, I know I'm exactly where I need to be. I think about Chloe and how she tried to take what wasn't hers. I think about how my father's approval always felt like it was just out of reach. But now, I'm not waiting for anyone's approval. I've taken control of my own life, my own company, and there's no turning back. I stand up, taking one last look at the city. This is just the beginning. It's been 3 months since I took over Caldwell Enterprises. I don't even recognize the place anymore. It's not just the company that's changed, it's me. The moment I took control, I realized something. I wasn't just managing a company. I was shaping my own destiny. I walk through the office every day now, but it's different. There's a new energy here. People are more engaged, more focused. There's no longer that air of fear and uncertainty. They trust me, and I trust them. We're all in this together now. I sit at my desk, overlooking the city I've spent years working for. The same view I've looked at for so long, but today, it feels like I'm seeing it for the first time. I'm not just a worker anymore. I'm not waiting for someone to tell me what to do. I'm leading. It feels good. It feels right. But as I sit there, something gnaws at the back of my mind. I think about Chloe. After everything that happened, she chose to leave the company. She realized that under my leadership, things would no longer be handed to her on a silver platter. She wanted an easier life, something that didn't require hard work or sacrifice. But that's not the life I want. That's not the life I've earned. It wasn't easy watching her walk away. She's my sister, after all. But I knew in that moment, she wasn't the person I needed to build this company with. She wasn't the person I needed to fight for. I think about Richard too, my father, the man who built this company with his bare hands, who taught me everything he knew, and yet never saw me for who I really am. It's hard to let go of the idea of the man I wanted him to be, but I've done it. I've stopped trying to earn his approval, because I've realized something. I don't need it anymore. The door to my office opens, and I hear a soft knock. It's my lawyer again. I've been expecting this call. I know what it is. The finalization of the company's restructure. I've made the decisions. I've taken the steps. Everything is ready for the next phase. Everything's in place, Lauren, my lawyer says when I pick up. The contracts are signed. The ownership is yours now. Caldwell Enterprises is officially under your control. I put the phone down slowly, my heart pounding. I've known this day was coming, but now that it's finally here, it feels like I'm standing on the edge of something new. Thank you, I say quietly, my voice steady. Let's move forward. It's only then that I realize something. The weight that once sat heavily on my shoulders, the weight of waiting for approval, is gone. There's no one to answer to now but myself. I own this. I think about the years I've spent feeling invisible, the years of sacrificing for something that was never mine. But now, it's different. I've taken control. I've built something from nothing. And now, it's my time to rise. I walk through the office once more, but today, it feels like a victory lap. People smile at me as I pass by. There's respect in their eyes now. They see me for who I am, not just the daughter of the founder. I've earned their respect, and now, we're all in this together. As I make my way to the boardroom, I stop for a moment at the door. I think about all the doubts I had, all the times I thought I wasn't good enough, all the times I felt overlooked. But today, I know that none of that matters anymore. I step inside, and the room goes quiet. The board members look at me with respect, some with surprise. They know what I've done. They know what I'm capable of. I'm not just here to lead. I'm here to change things. I take my seat at the head of the table. It's mine now, and I feel comfortable in my role. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not seeking anyone's approval. I'm ready to shape the future of this company. We're going to change things around here, I say, looking around the room, my voice confident. We're going to focus on efficiency. We're going to focus on innovation. But most importantly, we're going to focus on merit. The board members nod, some more eagerly than others, but they know what I'm saying is right. They can see I'm leading with purpose. I'm ready for the future. The rest of the meeting goes smoothly, and as it wraps up, I feel a sense of pride in my chest. I've taken the steps to make this company mine, and now it's time to take it to the next level. That evening, I stand by the window again, looking out over the city. The same city I've worked for. The same city that's always felt out of reach. But now, it feels mine. This is the beginning, and I'm ready for everything that's to come. I've spent so many years trying to live up to someone else's expectations. Now, I'm living for me, and this is just the beginning. If you've ever felt like you've been overlooked, like your hard work wasn't enough, like you were stuck in someone else's shadow, then Lauren's journey is your story too. It's not about money. It's about taking control, fighting for yourself, and claiming what's yours. If you're ready to take charge of your life, to stop waiting for someone else to recognize you, I want to hear your story. Share in the comments below what your moment of change looked like. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want to hear more stories that inspire you to step into your power. This is your time.